I hope everybody had a good weekend. So I just want to go over the markets a little bit. I want to dive into the indexes, stocks, where we're at, where we're going. Uh, for a lot of people in the room, I know that we haven't been that aggressive over the last couple of months. I've been very wary about really adding exposure and getting aggressive. We had about 4 or 5 failed follow through days, um, but the rally attempt that we had in late June, uh, followed by a follow through day around June 27th. That rally attempt wasn't taken out, and this uptrend is continuing. Um, I don't know definitively if this is the bottom of the bear market, but we're coming up on a critical juncture. Uh, right over here, we have the 200-day moving average above. We're about 4% away, so it's going to be really important uh, what happens when we hit this 200-day. Are we going to get rejected and come back down and start the base out again? Are we going to get flat out rejected, then head another leg down lower in this bear market? Are we going to push through this 200-day and then continue to climb and make new all-time highs? I don't know. We're just going to let price action dictate that and make our trading based around what happens off of the price. I am seeing a lot more quality setups hitting the screen in the coming weeks. If we dive into some of the setups that are really on my radar right now, I do really like SI. So so with this VWAP a little bit. So SI had broken out of the space, broke out on really high volume. You can see the expanding volume over here as price continued to run up the right side of the base, then break out. Price has been trending above the 8-day EMA. We're now tightening and consolidating above the 8-day with a nice small volume shelf building around price. I really like the momentum on this one and how this one has been riding the 8 EMA since it was broke out of its base. We're kind of simmering right below the 200-day. So this digestion right here could be exactly what the stock needs in order to push back through the 200-day SMA. So we're going to keep this one on our radar. I'm watching this one closely tomorrow morning. CFLT, kind of like this one also. We had initially broken out of this little bull flag over here. And then we're kind of tightening on declining volume above the 8-day EMA. So we got a nice little ascending triangle building out over here, a little bit of a base on base pattern. And then let's go back to SI for a second. I'm going to pull up the Market Smith to show the fundamentals on this stock. SA provides financial infrastructure solution and services for digital currency industry. It's a crypto related stock. And if you look over here, the stock has really strong EPS, really strong sales. We have 8 consecutive quarters of double and triple digit EPS. We have 7 consecutive quarters of double and triple digit sales. If you look over here, these are the number of funds that are invested in the stock. 363, 455, 467. Last quarter did significant, did shrink down just a little bit by 3 funds, but not a big deal. I expect when the next quarter comes out, we're going to see a big increase again. We got strong 90 composite rating, B plus accumulation distribution rating, ASMR rating, strong EPS rating. Return on equity is a little bit low. I think we will see this grow over the next couple of quarters, but I do really like this stock together. HRMY. This one, if you look at the action's a little bit loose and volatile, which isn't necessarily what I always look for, but I do like this nice little flag that's forming over here. We pulled back on declining volume to the 50-day, found support. We got a nice large volume shelf building around price within this flag. We got two really nice days of high volume over here, which signifies to me that the stock is under accumulation. So I'm going to be watching for a breakout out of this little flag set up over here. VRTX, we did try this one, but we did get stopped out. We got a really nice base forming. If you look over here on Market Smith, let me type in VRTX. It's a top industry right now, number 4 industry ranking. We got a B+ accumulation distribution rating, 99 composite, B sponsorship, but we got a nice high return on equity, 28%. If you look over here at the number of funds, you can see that they're growing significantly quarter to quarter. We got basically 8 quarters of consecutive double and triple digit EPS. We got 8 consecutive quarters of double digit sales. So I would consider this a stage 1 stock. We got a nice large volume shelf building around price within the base. We definitely have accumulation on the right side. Also, when I look to see if there's accumulation, you're looking for significant volume on the up days with lower volume on the down days. And you can just see this massive accumulation right over here. You can see the massive accumulation right over here. You can see the accumulation right over here. Lower volume, lower volume. We do have a distribution day over here. But that's always what you want to look for. You want to look for signs of accumulation on the right side of the base. We did break out. We pulled back in, found support at the 8-day EMA. A lot of the times in a base, you'll see one final pullback to the 8-day before it finally takes off. And I guess this is a little bit expected because we did kind of shoot straight up the right side over here. We went about 11% in 3 days. So a little pullback over here on lighter volume, testing the 8-day isn't anything that's worrisome. So I'm definitely going to be looking for some volume to kick in as price pushes out and pushes back into all-time highs. MUSA, Musa, an oil and gas name. We broke out of this consolidation over here, and now we're just kind of tightening above the 8-day EMA, setting up right over here with a little small volume shelf. This isn't one of my favorite setups, but I definitely think it's something just to keep on the watch list and see what happens. So sell. This is actually a really big favorite of mine. We got a nice big we have a nice large deep cup setup. Let me just overlay this. Let me put this up on Market Smith just so I can point something out to you guys. So sell over here. All right, so this is an overlay right here of the S&P 500. So you can see that right around over here that this is when the market bottomed. Um, but right here during this phase, you could really see the strong relative strength starting to kick in, that even though we are in a very strong and acute bear market, Celsius had bottomed and is starting to form the right side of the space. The strong is really strong fundamentals. We got 8 consecutive quarters of double and triple digit sales, uh, basically 8 quarters of triple digit EPS. We don't have a high return on equity yet. We have strong B sponsorship rating, a strong A minus accumulation distribution rating, and a 98 composite rating. So, so yeah, I really like how this one is setting up. It's a newer IPO. You know, and a lot of times you just want to kind of look at products and be able to see things for yourself. And I could definitely see that Celsius is now in every single shopping center, every single gym that I go to. Personally, I do like to drink myself. I like to drink it before I work out. So, and it's also one of the few traditional growth names that was a market leader in 2021 that is back near all-time highs. A lot of these stocks declined 50, 80%, and they're still 50, 60, 70, and even some are still 80% off of their highs. So there's a big accumulation here on the right side of the base. I mean, just look at that massive accumulation. This price comes up the right side. That's exactly what you want to see. You got a nice large volume shelf building around price within the right side of the space. This is definitely one of my top setups, especially if we did bottom. And that follow through day that we got is the follow through day to kick off this new bull market. This is kind of exactly what you want to see. Cup and handle pattern are some of the best patterns to trade out of when a new bull market comes and when you're coming out of the bear market. So I wouldn't mind if this pattern handles a little bit. And we see some tightness right here in the upper right side. Give the moving averages a chance to catch up a little bit. I mean, even though on the daily, if you look, we're not too extended from the 50-day, 21-day. I mean, we are what? Yeah, 30% above the 21-day, and right now we're about 53% above the 200-day. But the stock has just been really strong. There's not too many growth names right now that have even made it back above their 200-day. So I really like Celsius, and I think it's a name that we should definitely keep it on. GLNG, we have this really nice stage 1 consolidation. We got a really large volume shelf building around price. We got nice expanding volume as price runs up the right side over here. I would really like to see price tighten over here in the upper right side because we just kind of shot straight up the right side. And I want to give the moving averages a chance to catch up a little bit, because a lot of times when price just runs up the right side like this and breaks out, it pulls back in and it shakes you out. So it also reminds me of NFE, which is another energy name. Looks very similar. We did have a nice breakout on this. I think it's run up maybe 13-14%. Yeah, around 13-14% since it broke out. ENPH. ENPH. I really love this name. We weren't able to get in on the power earnings gap over here, but we got price tightening up. Um, so we got a nice clear entry point over here. What I would like to personally see is I would like to see a pocket pivot. So that's going to be volume greater than any of the last 10 sessions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we basically want to see volume greater than any of the prior 10 days. And that would be a really nice entry to get in right over here. If we can get a pocket pivot, if we can get some nice volume coming in early in the session as price pushes out of this area. A lot of these energy and solar names have just been really strong and off the chart lately. Yeah, so ENPH, I really like. I definitely think it's a true market leader as of now. The stock also has some strong fundamentals to back up the price action. If you pull up ENPH, it is from a #1 industry ranking. We have the number of funds invested growing quarter to quarter. We have 7 consecutive quarters of double and triple digit EPS, 7 consecutive quarters of double and triple digit sales. We got a massive 74% return on equity, sponsorship rating B, composite rating 99, accumulation distribution A minus. The stock just has absolute top notch fundamentals. We're pushing into all-time highs right now. So I definitely want to get in the stock, even though we didn't catch the power earnings gap up. I think this is providing a secondary opportunity to get in the name. All right. Sentinel One. We just kind of got this ascending triangle base that's forming. We got a nice size volume shelf building around price. We kind of pushed out. We had not a bearish engulfing candle, but bearish candle over here. We're still holding above the 8-day EMA. I was just really looking for a kind of clean breakout on volume as we push out in order to get into the stock, but we didn't get that. But I'm just still keeping an eye at this one at the end of the day. You see HC that already broke out. Just add that to the breakout list. Yeah, so what I do is I keep a list of stocks that broke out recently. So that way I could, even though I wasn't able to possibly get in on the breakout, I'm monitoring the stock to see if the breakout is sticking. And if the stock continues to run, it's still on my radar and I could look for an alternative entry on the stock. ELF. I kind of like, we got a smaller little consolidation setting up. So if you look at ELF, you look at the weekly, we just broke out of a stage 1 cup on high volume. Stock is decent fundamentals, 16% return on equity. It's got a B sponsorship rating, 94 comp rating. It does have an A+ accumulation distribution rating. And if you just look over here on the chart, you can see the massive accumulation on the right side of the base. So after it broke out, it looks like it's setting back up. We got pullback on somewhat declining volume to the 8-day EMA. We got a little small volume shelf, so it might provide a little small and tight entry to get into the name. This is a beauty and makeup company. Um, I don't know if you're familiar with Bethany Franklin, but she was one of the housewives, and she heavily promotes these products. I know that my wife buys a lot of the stuff, so um, you know, a lot of these celebrities and people with large social media influence, like when they get behind the product, it means a whole lot, and it can really push the name into a whole nother realm. So um, I do like the stock. I like the way the chart is shaping up. Shop. I mean, Shop was one that looks good. It looks like it's possibly forming a stage one base. Um, we do have distribution over here. On Friday, we got distribution over here. So I was kind of looking for a clean break out of the base, kind of like we did with INMD. We had this clean breakout on high volume. Uh, we did just kind of pull back on lighter volume to the 8-day EMA. But you see that a lot with stocks that have strong breakouts, especially on a gap up breakout like this. You'll get a small little tight pullback to the 8-day EMA on declining volume, and then you start to move from there. But I do like the stock. It broke out on high volume. The stock is clearly under accumulation for this run. Uh, and it's kind of like the first time that it's setting back up, that you're able to get into the name if this name is going to start to really run again. We do have the 200-day moving average over here, so I would definitely take profit like pretty quickly on this one if we did get into it. It's about 20% away from the 200-day, so I would definitely sell 50% of the stock, uh, 2/3 of it as it moves into the 200-day moving average. Beam, I really like this one. We got a nice flat base setup. We got a nice large volume shelf forming a round price. If you look at Beam Market Smith, it is a number 4 industry ranking. We got some big sales number over the last 3 quarters, but the EPS is still negative over the last 8 quarters. 83 comp rating. I mean, the stock doesn't have the strongest fundamentals yet. It's not really profitable right now, but I mean, this is a big Cathie Wood holding. She's been adding to the stock heavily during the bear market. So not that Cathie Wood, what she buys or what she does, doesn't do anything uh, to impact how I trade, but I do like the setup. It's from a top industry, and at the end of the day, we want to focus on the top leading industries, especially the top 10 uh, within the top 20. Uh, what that does is it gives us an edge and an advantage. And when we're trading, it's a game of statistics and odds, and we want to have as many odds and statistics in our favor as possible. So whatever we could do to increase our odds at the end of the day, we're going to do. And that's a big foundation of what William O'Neill can slim style position swing trading is all about. It's about taking all those little small odds and stacking them up so that they're in your favor when you're trading. So in the green over here, these are just what I believe to be some of the current leaders, even though a lot of them are extended right now. I'm still just keeping them on my radar. CLFD. I had this breakout from this base, and it's just been really strong, riding that 8 EMA. As it grinds up higher, you can see some major accumulation over here as the price pushes into all-time highs day after day. CLS, CSL, I really like too. Had this really nice double bottom breakout, really nice volume behind the breakout, really nice volume on the move up. Had that nice little pullback to the 8-day EMA, and then you got a strong supporting candle blasting off and pushing back up. And clearly you could see some big accumulation as the price pushes into new all-time highs on a daily basis. NFE broke out last week. You can see some nice accumulation as price runs higher. SWAV, we broke out of this base not last week technically, but the week before. But we got the big volume coming in this week, and we got some really strong movement as price pushes into new all-time highs. So I really like these four names over here: CLFD, CSL, NFE, SWAV. Even though the price is extended on the four names currently, I just like to keep them on my radar to see if they set back up. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I went over the focus list for tomorrow. I posted the top 10 industry rankings. I put up the market report for last Friday. Let's run a type ship, guys. I am seeing some positive setups. So listen, at the end of the day, I know that I haven't been aggressive in my buying over the last couple of months, but I would rather be late to the party than early. A lot of people lost really big money during this bear market, and we haven't. Yeah, we've gotten stopped out on some half-size positions for really small percentages, but that's nothing compared to losing 30, 40, 50, 60% of your account, adding on to losing positions during a bear market. So definitely seeing a character change in the market. So I am liking what I'm seeing so far. So I would like to start to get more aggressive and really start to pull the trigger on some names that are on my radar. So let's, no matter what, let's keep our stop losses tight. Once we're a little bit profitable on a position, let's move our stops to break even. That way, no matter what, if the stock pulls back in, it's just an even trade at the end of the day. We're not losing any money. Let's take profit along the way. If the stock runs up quickly, 10%, 20%, 30%, let's make sure that we're selling into strength. I'm definitely starting to see stocks run a little bit more than they have over the past couple of months. A lot of the times during this bear market, kind of stock would run 10%, run 20%, and then it would start to drop like a rock again. So we're starting to see some bigger movement in these breakouts, some 30% move, 40% move, 50% moves. Let's just go into crypto real quick. Ethereum, we broke out of this base over here. And then we've just kind of been riding back up, coming into the 200-day EMA. This is definitely kind of one of my biggest regrets that I haven't got back into Ethereum on this breakout. We were still in the midst of the bear market over here, so I guess I was a little bit shy on the trigger to get in over here, but I really like the way Ethereum has just kind of been trending, riding the 8-day EMA. We had a quick little shakeout over here to the 21-day, but we continue to ride the 8-day EMA over here. Bitcoin is looking a little bit decent too. I do like this really tight action over here. We kind of saw something similar with SHIB. You got this just like really tight action over these last couple of weeks, and then we just had this really big breakout over the weekend. But we're still having problems getting through the 200-day moving average. Avalanche. I mean, Avalanche really hasn't done much. It did break out of this bullish pennant, but it's just been kind of chopping sideways. Not to. Oh, actually, no. This is Solana. I apologize. Not Avalanche, but um, Avalanche broke out. It really hasn't done anything. This chart is Solana over here that I was talking about. But SHIB, we did get that nice breakout into the 200 day. Not able to get back through it, so we're gonna have to wait and see. That will definitely be a major test to see if we're able to get back through that 200 day. So if you guys have any questions, just send me a DM on Twitter or on Discord, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.